Hey guys, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, would definitely appreciate it. This week, as you'd see on the screen, I spent some time just doing one of my daily quiet times that I have with God, where I just go into the Word, spend some time praying, and I go into the Word and I just study, book by book, chapter by chapter, page by page. Right now I'm journeying through 2 Kings, and here I would be on chapter 19, and thus far 1st and 2nd Kings has been a wonderful read. I feel like it's definitely been stretching me. The Old Testament has always been something a little bit, I don't know, almost not scary, but almost like daunting. Like, I don't know if I want to read this, or you want to read it, but you only read the little Psalms, because that's the easiest thing to swallow. The Psalms or the Proverbs or even Ecclesiastes is like the easiest thing for you to get into. But I really wanted to kind of challenge myself to be more disciplined and study the Old Testament meaningfully, really learn about the history, what was happening, and how that impacts the New Testament, and just seeing God's promises, etched all throughout His Word from Genesis to Revelation, and seeing how He was so, I don't know, God is really amazing when you think about it, to just put everything that you could possibly need. And then, you read some things in the Bible and you're like, this really needed to be in here, but when you look at the grand scheme of things, it's all worth it. Now, as we get into this, you'll probably just be seeing me studying. One of the things that came to mind as I was preparing and doing my studying was the necessity of discipline. Man, sometimes we say, like, I want to be more disciplined, I want to be disciplined. No. We need to be disciplined, because discipline is that thing that carries us through. And I mentioned this in a video I did a few weeks ago, I think, when I was still on my social media break, where it's in those moments that discipline really, I don't want to say comes to the rescue, but shows its importance and shows its strength. And it's something that we have to choose to do. You ask yourself, how do you become disciplined? Is by making a decision to do something and stick with it, even when you don't want to do it. Because there are days when, you feel so amazingly inspired, and it's like, yes, Lord, to your will and to your way, I say yes, Lord, yes. And then there are the days where it's like, what should I read today? What should I do today? Or you read something and you're like, I don't feel anything. And the truth is, we may not always, quote unquote, feel something, but that shouldn't deter us from continuously pursuing God, continuously pursuing understanding and His wisdom and discernment and all the other good things that He gives to us. One of the things I love to do, though, is when I'm starting my quiet time, that in my prayer, I pray specifically, Lord, help me to really receive something from your word. Help open my eyes and my heart to not just read and just skim over, but to digest something that you've given to me in this passage. And that has been happening for me, thankfully, in my journey through 1st and 2nd Kings. Now, in 2nd Kings chapter 19, some dramas going on. King Hezekiah, one of the few kings, oh my goodness, these kings was really, they were really the worst, literally the worst. It just seemed like every single chapter is like 3 kings who did everything that was evil in the sight of God, and then once in a blue moon, you would see this is a king that walked in the ways of the Lord, and did things that was righteous in the eyes of the Lord. And even sometimes those kings, but they still left up this altar, this statue or whatnot. Like there was always something that they skipped out on, and they didn't fully commit to the cause of Christ, as I like to call it now. But this King Hezekiah, shout out to all the Hezekiahs out here. You'll have a powerful namesake, so make sure to walk in that. King Hezekiah, he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and he was faithful to God every day of his life, and it was absolutely beautiful to watch, because when you look at King Hezekiah, you see that he's living in a time where they're literally being afflicted on every side, and he's in a space where it would be easier to bow down, to give into the cultural norms, to give into what everybody else is doing, to just go with it, because it's been working for some people thus far. But he decided, no, I'm living this life for God, and y'all can't change my mind. And so Hezekiah's people were going to be attacked. And one of the things that grieved his heart was the fact that they were mocking the true and the living God. And I found Hezekiah's prayer to be so powerful. So I'm reading from verses 14 all the way to 19. Yeah? And it says, Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up to the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. You'll see what he did there? He received the letters. Now, Hezekiah received the letter basically threatening them, right? And mocking God. And so he went up to the house of the Lord. First thing he did, he read it and went straight to God. And he spread it before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord, the God of Israel, enthroned above the cherubim, you are the God, you alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made heaven and earth. Incline your ear, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, O Lord, and see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent to mock the living God. Truly, O Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste the nations and their lands, and have cast their gods into the fire. For they were not gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they were destroyed. So now, O Lord our God, save us, please, from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you, O Lord, are God alone. I just thought that was such an amazing prayer, and I was like, damn, I think I want to use this as one of the prayers, you kind of use as a template for your prayers, because he really exalted God. He told God the problem, even though God already knows. He was so specific about the problems, and he's like, yes, I know other nations have fallen to these people who are threatening us, but that's because they serve false gods made out of wood and stone, so obviously they were destroyed. But you are the living God, so please rise up and help us, please save us. And God did. And so if you read, and I continue reading from verse 20 all the way to 31, you would see what God does in the life of Hezekiah through the prophet Isaiah, and to the point where even in chapter 20, Hezekiah was sick and he was going to die. Isaiah said, no, your time is, this is it, you're not going to recover from this. And Hezekiah cried out and said, Lord, no, I have served you. I have been righteous in your eyes, please. And what did God do? Said, you know what? I'm going to bless you with 15 more years. You're going to recover, and I'm giving you 15 more years. How great is our God? So I was so inspired by Hezekiah, and I want to encourage you all that even in this trying time that we may be facing, to not be like any of the other kings of the Bible who just couldn't go along with the pagan society we are living in. Don't just go along with culture. Go against culture. Serve God. Serve Him alone. Serve Him with vigor. Serve Him with every single thing you have. You don't have to be popular. Yeah? We're not looking for popularity out here. We are looking to live righteous lives. So yeah, continue to run your race. Do it well. Do it in excellence. Do it for God. And no matter the trials we face in this day and age, know that it will always be better for us to be in the will of God and, holding it down. So that's all she wrote. I hope you'll enjoy this week's video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe to this channel, and of course share with someone you think we enjoy it as well. Until next time, you'll keep it popping for Jesus, because without Him, you'd be a hot mess, and that could never be cute. Alright, y'all. Peace.